Welcome once more to my channel, awesome people. Thanks so much for coming to see the third part of Faith Plus, A Great Secret. Heck, posting in parts is a pain, isn't it? If you want, you can go to my Ko-fi and find it full on various formats, link below. Also, please don't forget to give YouTube a thumbs on this video for the machine to know how you felt about it. It helps the AI to know what your taste is like and what kind of people should be watching my videos. It's a win-win. With no further ado, for all you misunderstood people who are having a tough day, I present to you the third part of Faith Plus, A Great Secret. She turned right, she turned left, she turned around and all over the trees. She walked for a real while, basically an hour by what she could tell, and something was off. First, no, it was not the fact that she totally forgot to mark the trees with the knife in the first place, nor the fact that she didn't find any path or trail or line on the ground. No, something was off in that forest. Then she just leaned at the nearest tree and gave a real look to all the other trees. Small ones, the big ones, the medium ones. All trees, only pine trees. That was it. The odd thing about that forest was that there were only pine trees. No other type of plants, no bushes, no other trees, no birds, no bugs, no foxes, no wolves, no whatever. Just pine trees. Weird. Super weird. How was that even possible? Good thing for her though. No worries about any bugs going over her accidentally. But still, real creepy. She started to think something was way suspicious about that inn she was in. She decided to just leave her bag on the ground and sit to think again. What a painful job existing. And thinking. But she didn't have much time to sit and reflect on her solitude and sadness. It was starting to rain and starting to get dark from the night and from the clouds. But she had way no idea where she was. Like, way no idea. She'd probably have to walk another hour or two to even get to the monsters building again. She felt like crying. But she felt way more like not spending the night at that creepypasta forest with only pine trees, wet and with no trails to follow around. She decided to do another painful job. Less painful than existing, but yet painful nonetheless. Getting up a tree. She was convinced that it was the best way to find her direction. And then she remembered she had a phone in her bag. That was with no battery, of course. Why not? She thought. Let's get this tree climbing on going. And besides anything, she felt like it was surprisingly easy to climb that tree, especially not having to fear encountering any bugs or mama birds on the way up. She was picky with her tree, so that one was the biggest around she could lay her eyes on. So she went up above all the other ones, which was not exactly enough. The trees were too high anyway in any direction for her to see a bald spot that could be then. Frustrating. At that very moment, the rain really kicked in, and it was absolutely terrifying for Millie. It would probably be terrifying for almost anyone on top of a tree, especially when the first lightning came and then the thunder. Millie let out a scream and basically jumped from the tree. For her luck, her instinct came back in less than a second, and she didn't jump away from the tree, but was just falling by its side. So she was able to grab a branch and worked an absolutely better way down than being squashed by the ground. When she finally made it to her backpack, she was much more than wet and terrified. She actually got totally lost that time. She thought she didn't have a chance to actually find her way to the inn by then, and grabbed on her back tight for a silent cry echoing the rain. The night came completely and went on for a little until Millie could put herself together. By then, she was not even mad with the nun anymore, nor did she felt the rain on her head. She was just walking around trying to find anything else than a pine tree. she finally got hungry and opened her backpack to find all the treats she caught for herself and smiled. At least she could count on herself to be gentle with herself. She grabbed a hot dog from there, wrapped it in foil, and got a real good bite on it, almost half. Food. From all the things she didn't get about life, food was the one thing she could get. Delicious, calming, and it was always there to comfort you on whatever you'd need. She felt like thanking the nun for recommending her to get the pack on the walk. That was really an ass-saving thing to do, because then, after eating and drinking some water, she could finally think somewhat clear. She even felt like smiling a little. Millie looked up to the skies and she thought that was it. That was her bottom of the sea, and then screamed to the clouds above. That's it, life! You finally did it! Beat your own way. You won't listen to me anyway, will you? First you take away my father, and then my mother's sanity with him. Then you take away my sanity, what basically drove away any friends I could have made. And after so many years of torturing me, you just had to make my only friend move so darn away and kill my mother in the same week. And now here, wet, sad sack, lost, and still alive. So do with me whatever you want. Don't care anymore. And she walked away half furiously and half happy. She got that out of her mind. And then she came back to the same spot real quick to add, you know what? If you want to kill me, do it now. If you want to just keep playing with me, just keep sending me food then. That's the one thing this food critic is good for after all, isn't it? And there you make me starve ever. She pointed a finger up to the clouds, her body really rigid. Dare you do that? And walked away again, actually going for a real walk in the forest. It was the first time she was in fact there and not looking for something in it. She had a walk to calm down her head. After all, shouting at clouds wouldn't make anything different, would it? Life was not a real thing that could listen to her. Was it? She was not sure. After a while, she felt like just having a rest in there and sat on the base of a tree, holding her bag in front of her and leaning the head on the tree. She felt a bit comfortable, and in less than a dozen minutes, she was already sleeping. Calm your horses! She's not dead yet, just sleeping. But what happened after she woke up sure was deadly. The type of thing no one could ever in real life survive. Well, at least not in her situation. She woke up with another thunder. It was still raining, but she could see some dim light in the distant sky at her left and got surprised by how much she slept. It was pretty soon going to be sunrise time. She felt like getting up on another tree to see that sunrise. She was always marveled with the morning colors as the earth was rotating against the light. She was resolute that morning while climbing up on the tree that if life would do as it wanted to her, she would do as she wanted to life as well. No holding back, the good one-on-one fighting, and she knew she was no match for her opponent. But she would do what she wanted and dance around what life would throw at her, that was for sure. And coming to think of it, she thought that really similar to what the nun, Miss Signa, told her at the lunch in the previous day. When she got on the top of the tree, she asked herself, wait, was that thing about the trail another tricky question? Oh, darn it, sure it was. I wonder if I have just found my little trail to my temple. Wait, temple? What would the temple be on this tricky question? Thank you so much for watching or hearing this third episode of A Great Secret. Please give it a like before you see or I upload the next part, or a dislike for me to know that you're dropping this one. Yet, if you want to see what happens next before everyone, pass by my Ko-fi on the link below and get yourself all the videos I'm gonna upload beforehand, the full audio version of it along with the original text I wrote. All of that for the price of one single coffee. Thanks again, and see you at the next part.